when I was first learning to play instruments, I was having a little bit of difficulty, not personality wise, but with the music. I just couldn't get it. I couldn't. One of my first instruments was a trumpet. And my first year, I was just a little kid, I think about 8 years old. And my first year at playing a trumpet, I just couldn't get it. I just couldn't figure out, you know, how do you make the notes? I just couldn't understand. And I was ready to quit. I was ready to quit and just say, hell with it. I'm not going to do this because I don't know. The music instructor was, remember I said I came from a school that had a lot of racist teachers, okay? So the music instructor was no help, yeah? And he was just like, when we had lessons, they were group lessons. So, everybody in the same instrument, they all, you all have your lesson together. And I was like, I can't. A trumpet has 3 valves that you press. And I was like, which one do you press to make what note? I don't understand. And we had a lesson book, yeah, but I was reading and I couldn't find the explanation. I had no clue. I was about ready to quit. My mother was a preschool teacher, and a lot of times when she got her paycheck, we would go to Rapid City, and this is in South Dakota. It's a big town. Yeah, it's not a city. That there's not even 100,000 people living in Rapid City. I wouldn't call it a city. Yeah, it's a city is when you have like 12 million people. Yeah, that's a city. That's London. Yeah, Berlin is 3.5, I think, 3.5 million. Anyway, my mother likes to go to these second-hand stores to find not clothes, but to find things that look really good and they work, like maybe a machine, like a toaster or something. And just go through the second-hand stuff. She really likes to do that. So we went to this store. It was called Salvation Army. Some of you probably in America, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes there's records there, yeah. So I like to go through there, and they're just 5 cents or something like they're really, really cheap. So I would buy records there too, yeah. So one time, and there was this whole stack of books, music books there. So I went and looked, and I found one for trumpet, yeah, and it's like trumpet something, beginner level or level 1 or something like that. And so I was like, I'll check this out. So I opened it up, and I was like, hey, it had all the fingerings in there. Yeah, it showed you what buttons to press to make a certain note. And I was like, how come the one that our music instructor gave us doesn't have this? Yeah. So I asked my mom, I said, can I buy this? And I said, I really need this. And she said, yeah, it's just like 5 cents. So I said, cool, yeah. So I went and got all the trumpet books that were there, because they're just 5 cents, yeah. So I got all of them. Every trumpet book that was there, I bought it. So I walked out of that store with about 25 trumpet books, yeah. Really, they came from one of the high schools in Rapid City. Yeah, one of the schools. They probably bought new books for their music students, so then they donate these to Salvation Army, and Salvation Army sells them. Yeah, so so they're used, but they're clean. Yeah, they're clean books. So they're not folded crazy or anything like that. They're just as good as new. So I went and bought all these books, and when we got to, we used to stay overnight, yeah, one night. So in the hotel room, I was just looking at these books all that time, reading these books, and I was like, geez, this is easy. I said, so I really can't wait to get home. Now I think I know how to play trumpet. And so when we got home, that's the first thing I did. Yeah, went in my room, got my trumpet out, and I started playing what's on there, and I was like, "I'll be goddamned and a half." And I know that doesn't make sense, but when you're a little kid, it makes perfect sense. Yeah. I was playing the trumpet. I was playing songs. Yeah. Next thing there was this song that was popular back then called "I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing in Perfect Harmony." Yes, that's the whole song title. I was listening to I had that record and I was listening to that over and over and I think I can play that song by ear. So I started playing that along with the record. Yeah, I was playing my trumpet and I was able to find the right notes. And see, I'm classically trained on piano, so I can do things by ear. But I just could not play the trumpet for some reason. Yeah, and the trumpet was something that's school related. The piano was not school related. That was home related. Okay, so now I could actually play with the record. I was playing my trumpet, yeah, and playing along with these songs. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. Yes, that's a real song title. There's probably people in their 30s going, "Huh? Is David making that up?" No, I'm not. That's a real song. And anyway, I was so happy. Yeah, so all that day Sunday, boy, I mean, the rest of the we came back about I don't know about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, so the whole rest of the afternoon I was playing my trumpet, and then I got real tired and took a break and watched a little bit TV. We only got one channel back then, Sundays. No, yeah. So let's watch some certain things. And then so I couldn't wait to my music lesson. Yeah, and our music lesson I think was on a Tuesday. Tuesday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I think it was, for 20 minutes once a week. Yeah. So we got there and pulled out my book from the Dupree School. Yeah, the Dupree School trumpet book. I mean that the school uses, and I could play everything. And the music instructor he looked at me really strange. He had that expression on his face. Is like, what the hell is wrong with you? How come you're playing? Cool teacher, huh? A real teacher would have said, "Hey, that's pretty good. How'd you do that?" Yeah. A real teacher would have got me the right book to begin with. A real teacher, yeah. So I realized that when I was looking at the trumpet book that the music director gave to us, I looked at that and goddamn, that was a level 2 book. Why did he give us Indian kids a level 2 book? The only thing I could think of was that he wanted us to fail so that we would quit. And he doesn't want to teach Indian kids. And that's something. Yeah? Holy crapola. So I just thought, okay, I have to take the lessons. I'm just gonna go with whatever he does. But at home, I'm going to use the Rapid City books. Yeah? I'm going to use those. I'm gonna get better on my own. This music instructor didn't even do a damn thing to help me. I can't even remember his name. I remember he had a bald head. Yeah, he had a bald head, thick eyebrows, and he had a funny kind of a walk. And I really didn't like him, but I had to get the grade. The situation was really difficult, and I was only 8 years old, and I was ready to quit. And here I found this book. I didn't want to quit, though. Yeah, that's the thing, is I didn't want to quit, but this music instructor was not helping, and that's the only music instructor that the school had. It's like, he didn't want Indian kids to make it. He wanted Indian kids to fail, so he gave us a hard book to use. That is racist. Racist in teaching, racism in education that man should have went to jail, in my opinion. He should have had his teaching credentials stripped from him. His certification should have been revoked. Luckily, I found these used trumpet books at a second-hand store. Yeah, I found these used trumpet books that just opened up the whole world for me, and I stayed with it. I stayed with it, and thank goodness, the next school year there was a different music teacher, and that guy was good, and he took me to a whole new level. Yeah, this he was not from South Dakota. He was originally from Minnesota. And he comes from an area where there's Indians. So he worked with Indian kids before. So he was real good with us Indian kids. And so he was saying to some of the other Indian musicians, he was saying, you know, a lot of Indian students quit the year before, and he figured out why. That previous music director, he gave the second level to all the Indian kids, whether they were saxophone players or flute players or you know, he gave them a harder level book, and our new teacher was just appalled at that, and he said, "Geez, our band could be much bigger if that guy wasn't a racist. If he had only taken us seriously, a lot of those kids would have never quit." Because they didn't know what to do. And he wasn't helping them. So they quit. That's exactly what he wanted to do. He wanted no Indian kids in the Dupree School Band. He did not want any Indian kid to be in the Dupree School Band. So when Indian kids wanted to learn how to play, he gave them a really hard book so they'll quit. That's unbelievable. The guy should be working in Mississippi. Yeah. See, crackers. So I was very fortunate, yeah, to have found these other books. So it's like, keep your eyes open, yeah. When you're going through a shitty time, and it's not your fault, keep your eyes open for opportunity, because when you have the will to want to do something, and something is trying to stop you, just keep going, yeah? Keep having that hope and keep your eyes open, because the opportunity is trying to find you. So keep your eyes open. That's what I mean when I said, when we went to Rapid City and going through these used secondhand store, and I always went through the records and songbooks and magazines and stuff like that, and I saw these trumpet books, and I was like, this just made all the sense in the world. And that was a used trumpet book. So don't judge a book by its cover. That's the other thing. Because if I was a vain kid, I would have said, I don't want to be here. These are all oldies. Yeah, I would have missed that. Probably would have quit the trumpet, and I would have never developed in that direction, and I wouldn't have had these wonderful experiences that I did at Washington, D.C. So, see how things can connect. When I got these books, these Rapid City trumpet books, I started to realize, yeah, the trumpet's pretty easy to play. Yeah, and I got really good at it fast because I kept playing and doing my exercises, and keep doing it over and over and over, and I got good, really good. After this guy left, the second music instructor, he was there for about 3 years. Then after he left, in comes this woman from Wisconsin, and she was really good to us Indian kids. She took me aside, and it really helped me too with my musical development. And then from her, we got into this all Indian honors band. You see, the journey here could have stopped at that racist music instructor, but I had the will. I did not want to quit. I wanted to somehow, I had to figure this out. And I kept my eyes open, and an opportunity presented itself to me in the second-hand store. And I got the book, even though it was used. I still bought it anyway because it explained everything. And I was on my way. So things don't have to be brand new.
Sometimes in our lives, and we're trying to do something, and we come into an obstacle, and sometimes we feel like giving up. How do you know if you should give up or not? We have to know ourselves, the sacred center, and establishing peace in your life, and taking all that time to come to peace with your past. That's how you get to know yourself. So this way, when you do that, you're more certain when you look at something, and then you can see, oh, this thing that I chose to do, it's not working out. And when you have peace inside of yourself, you will know soon if you should continue or try something else. Because sometimes the answer might be to try something else. Sometimes. But how are you going to know that? See, that's the problem that most of us have. And to solve that problem, we do that by establishing peace in our life. So when we come to that kind of situation, we take the time to check out all options. Yeah, we look at it and we say, okay, what can we do? Yeah, what can we do? But at the same time, you keep your eyes open for what's happening around you. Well, like the situation I told you about in my life, where this music teacher did not want the Indian kids to make it. He wanted us to fail. So he was giving us lesson books that were the second level. The second level assumes you already know, how to, push whatever valve or button or whatever on your instrument to make a certain note. The second level assumes that you already know that. So that's why we didn't even know what the hell was going on. Looking at the situation, I was like, I can't go on, because how am I supposed to learn these things when there's no resource? But I kept my eyes open, yeah. And so when we traveled to Rapid City to the secondhand store, and I found these trumpet books. Well, there was books for a lot of instruments there, but I was playing trumpet at the time, so I was focusing on that. And I found a level 1 beginner, and I opened it up, and it explained everything. See, I kept my eyes open. Yeah, I went into that store because they sell used records sometimes, and I like to go in there and see what they have. And so I saw these music books that caught my attention because I had my eyes open. You see what I mean? And then I went over there and looked at this book and saw it said, trumpet beginner level 1, and it was a different book series than what the Dupree School was using. And so I thought, oh, this is really interesting. So I looked at it and realized, geez, this explains everything. Then you don't judge a book by its cover. It was an older book. It was not brand new. Yeah, it was obviously used, but it was in real good shape. So I didn't let that throw me, because after all, I'm in a second-hand store. Nothing is new in there. Yeah, so I just assumed, okay, it's used. Let's see what it's about. So I went ahead and I checked it out, and I was like, oh, how about that? I found the answer. I kept my eyes open. So even when it looks like nothing is going to help you, when it looks like you're totally up against a brick wall, wait a little longer before you give up. Just keep your eyes open. Yeah, maybe there's something coming over the wall or under it, or maybe from around it. Yeah, keep your eyes open. Wherever you're doing in your life, like maybe you're trying to pass an exam for something, and there's some concept you just don't understand, and you cannot find a solution for it. So you're thinking, if I don't find this, I'm going to fail. Just keep your eyes open. Don't give up yet. Not yet. Yeah, have patience. And whatever it is you're doing, always keep your eyes open. Yeah, so you go and maybe you're eating, then you take your dishes to the sink, your dirty dishes, and then you're going to soak your dishes for a while. So you fill up the sink with hot water, put some dish soap in there, and as you're putting the dish soap back on the counter, you drop it because it's slippery. There's soap on the outside of it. So you drop the dish soap, so it drops on the floor, and the way it drops, you're like, oh, I get it now. Do you see what I mean? Because it dropped in a certain way, it triggered something in your mind. Or you thought of another way to understand whatever it is. See, you keep your eyes open because sometimes things, a lot of times actually, not just sometimes, a lot of times things are gonna happen like that. Yeah, you're going to be able to figure it out. Like a goofy one here. Last night, I was teaching a couple here in Berlin. They came to my apartment, and we were supposed to start at 7:30 and go to 9 o'clock in the evening. So I was getting ready, and here they showed up 20 after. Yeah, they showed up 10 minutes early, which is okay, it's no problem. But there was an eBay auction that was going to end at 7:45. So my computer is in where I teach too, yeah. So I left my computer on. I had that auction page ready, and I entered my amount that I was going to bid on. And all I had to do was come back to the computer monitor, a couple minutes before the auction was over, and wait until the final seconds, and then press the enter button to enter my bid and hopefully win what I wanted to win. Yeah, stereo speakers. Yeah, I have a stereo, but it has no speakers. So I found this pair of speakers, and I thought, yeah, I'm gonna win this. Yeah, because I did my research, and it's really a nice pair of speakers. So all day, yeah, I was thinking, don't forget. Yeah. And here we were talking, and I told them, I said, there's an auction on eBay that's going to end at 7:45. I said, so I have to pause for a couple minutes at that time, yeah, and I'm going to try to win it. And so I really apologize. And they said, oh, no, that's okay. Don't worry. So we were talking, and we're talking about the horse and what it means in Lakota spirituality. Yeah, what does that associate it with and stuff like that. And I was keeping my eyes on the clock at the same time. 7:43 came, and I was finishing my sentence. Yeah, I said, okay, I have to break. I came to my computer. The auction was over. It took me 2 minutes to finish my sentence. I came back and the auction ended right when I sat down. Right when I sat down, the auction ended. And I was like, oh my gosh, I missed it. Oh, and it sold for a really low price too, yeah? And I was like, oh man, shoot. I really wanted those. So I had to shake it off really fast, yeah? I really had to shake it off. I said, okay, I'm teaching here. I have to get back into the, mode for, in the zone, yeah, for teaching this couple here. So I proceeded, yeah, to go along with the lesson. And so we had a good time, yeah. I taught them how to sing a certain song. See, I do these things. Yeah? They teach them how to sing certain songs as well in Lakota, and show them the words in Lakota, and even explain the grammar and how it works and stuff like that. We really had a good time last night. So 9 o'clock came, and we went a little past because I had to break away. So it was okay. We really had a good time. I know this couple. They're a real nice couple. So we ended about 9:15. And so I was like, okay. So wished him well and stuff like that. Have a nice evening. Have a nice drive back home. Stuff like that. So then I was like, okay. You used the bathroom. Got myself something to drink, and I was rested just for a little bit. Yeah, I went in my bedroom and I laid down for a few minutes and just rested my mind, cleared my mind. And I got back up and I came back into the living room where my computer is and was looking at that auction page. And I was like, oh, I can't believe I missed this. I was feeling just down. I scrolled down to the bottom of the page, and then here it showed other items you may be interested in. It says, yeah, in German, yeah, it says that. And so there, I was looking, I was like, wait a minute, what the heck is that? I saw another set of speakers. I clicked on it, and I was like, huh, this is even better than the one I was trying to win. It's a better quality. It's a better. It's higher quality. I mean, it's a sound quality. I mean, and it would go better with my stereo. And it's in even better condition than the other ones. Huh? Okay, here we go. Yeah. So I got on it right away and won it. Yeah. So you see, this is it. I thought I missed one, and here it's a good thing I missed it because this other one that I'm getting now, it's a higher quality, and it's for a really good price. Yeah, and I was like, wow, geez, I'm so glad I missed that. Yeah, the first one. I'm so glad I missed it because I wouldn't have never seen this one. This one is even better, and I'm totally satisfied. Yeah. And I was like, that is so cool. It's so cool. It turned out better than I thought. Yeah. Sometimes things are like that. Yeah. Sometimes that happens and something, looks like it's not going to work. Just hang on. Just hang on and keep your eyes open. Look around. Keep your eyes open. Yeah. There might be a different opportunity to come, that's coming, that is going to be better. You see what I mean? So that's another possibility. But the important thing is, don't give up yet. Yeah, really make sure. That means take time to check things out. And you might find a solution when you do that and keep your eyes open. You might find a solution in the goofiest of places. Like for me, in my trumpet story here, my solution came in a second-hand store. Yeah, used item store. And because of that, I kept at it, and I kept going and going and going, and I was basically teaching myself how to play trumpet because that racist music director wasn't any help. So then several more years went by, and next thing you know, I'm in this All Indian Honors Band thing that I was telling you about earlier. And that was one of the most wonderful times in my high school year. Yeah, met people from all over, different Indians, and really had fun traveling and going around Washington, D.C. and performing in the White House and all these kind of things. Really had fun. See, the benefits, when you keep at it, you never know I never knew that was going to happen when I was 8 years old. That 8 years later, this would be happening. Yeah. If I gave up and if I did not keep my eyes open, this wouldn't have happened. Yeah. So I could have went into that second-hand store just looking for records, if I saw those books, I could have said, they're old, and just look somewhere else. Yeah. I look at what would have happened. Look at what I would have missed. But the important thing is look around. Keep yourself open to possibilities coming from somewhere else or from someone else. Okay? Anything is possible. Yeah? And you'll be more sure when you have peace in yourself. you'll know when to back off and say, okay, enough is enough. I cannot find a solution anywhere, so I'll just let it go. So when you have peace in yourself, you know when to make that call. So patience is really important here. So you wait just enough time so that you don't wait forever, because when you wait forever, you're heading down the road of low self-esteem there. And you know that you should only wait a certain amount of time. Okay? And you know how much that